Installing server-side tracking yourself has a massive failure rate. If you tried to install server-side yourself right now, you would fail. Not because you're not smart enough, not because server-side is too complicated, but because you'd hit the same 5 walls that nobody warns you about, the stuff tutorials skip right over. Walls like spending an entire day following guides, hitting preview mode, and getting nothing. Empty screen, 0 hits, no idea why. Or finally getting it working, only to watch GA4 start counting double events. Same purchase showing up twice. Your data is now worse than before you started. Or my favorite, everything looks perfect in preview, you ship it live, and your conversion tracking just dies. If any of that sounds familiar, or you're about to attempt this migration and want to skip the suffering, you're in the right place. I'm Jeff Sauer. I run MeasureU, a community of over 4,000 marketers and measurement pros who troubleshoot this stuff constantly. So that's exactly what I'm going to walk you through, the 5 server-side migration mistakes that wreck most DIY setups and how to avoid every single one. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1, missing or incorrect server URL in your web tags. This is the most common place people get stuck, and it's usually the very first thing that goes wrong. Here's the symptom. You open your server GTM preview mode, you refresh your website, you look at the incoming request column, and there's nothing. Completely empty. But here's the confusing part. Your web GTM preview says tags had fired. Everything looks fine on the client side. So what gives? Well, here's the mechanism. The Google tag, which is gtag.js, defaults to sending data directly to Google. Not your server, directly to Google. If you don't explicitly tell it to route through your server first, it just doesn't. Your server is sitting there waiting for requests that are never going to arrive. The fix is simple once you know where to look. In your web GTM container, open your Google tag, go to configuration settings, add a new parameter. The key is server_container_URL. The value is your server endpoint, something like ss.yourwebsite.com. And here's the part that trips people up. No trailing slash. If you put https ss.yourwebsite.com/ with the slash at the end, it won't work. That one character will break the whole thing. Now, once you add the parameter correctly, refresh your site, and suddenly your server preview lights up. Requests start flowing, and you're in business. But if you skip this, or there's a typo in that URL, you'll stare at an empty preview window for hours wondering what you did wrong. Mistake number 2, tag sequencing failure. I call this the first touch issue. Here's the symptom. You see traffic in GA4, data is flowing, things look like they're working, but then you click on your acquisition reports and something's off. Session source medium shows a huge spike in not set traffic. Or your events are arriving without session IDs. Attribution is broken and you have no idea why. Here's the mechanism. In GTM, tags don't all fire exactly at the same moment. There's a sequence, a race. And if your event tags like page view fire even milliseconds before your configuration tag loads, those events are orphaned. They arrive at GA4 without the session context required for proper attribution. GA4 looks at them and goes, I don't know where this came from. So it defaults to not set. The fix is a 1-minute change that most tutorials never mention. In your web GTM container, find your Google tag, that's your configuration tag. Look at the trigger, it's probably set to all pages. Change it to initialization-all pages. The initialization trigger fires before any other triggers in GTM. It guarantees your configuration loads first before any events try to fire. Now, once you make that change, your orphaned events disappear. Attribution starts working again. One drop-down change fixes a problem that can corrupt months of data. By the way, I put together a pre-flight checklist for server-side migrations. It's the exact list of things to verify before you go live, so you don't end up debugging for hours. Comment flight below and I'll send it to you. Okay, mistake number 3. Mistake number 3, the phantom container. This one is embarrassing when it happens to you, and it will happen to you. Here's a symptom. You check your browser's network tab, you see requests going to your custom domain, ss.yourwebsite.com or whatever you set up. But they're returning 404 errors, not found. You check your server infrastructure, status says healthy. Server is running, so why is it returning 404s? Here's the mechanism. The physical server is running, but the GTM container on that server, it's empty. You set everything up, you configured your clients and tags, you tested in preview, but you never clicked publish. The container logic isn't live. There's nothing there to process requests. Your server is basically an empty building with the lights on. The fix is obvious once you know it. Go to your server GTM container, click submit, click publish. Do this even if the container is brand new, even if it's empty. Publishing establishes a live version that can actually receive and process requests. Until you publish, your server is a ghost. If this is saving you hours of debugging, hit subscribe. I make videos breaking down the stuff that actually trips people up in analytics and tracking. All right, mistake number 4. Mistake number 4, the silent server killer. This one is brutal because your server container just goes dark. No errors, no warnings, it just stops receiving data. Here's the symptom. You open your server container preview, it's empty. No requests coming in. You check your GA4 reports and data is still flowing in. So your GA4 is working, but your server, nothing. You're getting data in GA4, but none of it is going through the server, which means all your server-side tags, your Facebook CAPI, your enhanced conversions, everything you set up server-side, none of it is firing. Here's a mechanism. When you set up a server-side with Stape, the WordPress plugin configures your Google tag to route data through your server container URL. That's the correct path. Browser sends data to your server processes it, server forwards it to GA4 and other platforms. But here's what nobody warns you about. If you have any other plugin on your WordPress site that also initializes GA4, something like SiteKit, Google for WooCommerce, or any plugin that injects its own G-tag snippet, that plugin reinitializes the same GA4 measurement ID without your server container URL. And that takes precedence. So now you've got two configs fighting for the same measurement ID, and the one without the server URL wins. Your server-side routing gets overwritten, GA4 starts receiving data directly from the browser, your server container gets bypassed completely. We saw this exact scenario with a client. They had the Stape WordPress plugin installed and configured correctly. Server-side was set up properly, but they also had another GA4 plugin active on the site. That plugin loaded its own direct connection to GA4 using the same measurement ID, and it took precedence. The server container went completely silent. The fix? First, audit your WordPress plugins. Look for anything that injects GA4 or G-tag into the code. SiteKit, Google for WooCommerce, Monster Insights, any plugin that says it connects to Google Analytics. If you're running server-side through Stape, you need one path only. The Stape plugin handles the GTM support and the server routing. Any other plugin that touches GA4 needs to be disabled or have its tracking function turned off. Second, verify in your browser's network tab. Filter for your measurement ID. Every request should be going to your server domain, not directly to google-analytics.com. If you see requests going to Google directly, something else in the site is overriding your config. One measurement ID, one initialization, one path through your server. That is it. This is exactly why I made the pre-flight checklist. It walks you through what to do before you publish, including making sure you're not double firing. Comment flight and I'll send it over. Okay, last one. Mistake number 5, the preview mode trap. This one is especially painful because you did everything right. Here's the symptom. Everything looks perfect in GTM preview mode. Requests flowing, tags firing, events appearing in GA4 debug view. You publish, you celebrate, you move on with your life. Then a week later, you check your data and your volume is suspiciously low or missing entirely. What happened? Well, here's the mechanism. GTM preview mode is a liar. A well-meaning liar, but it's a liar. Preview mode often bypasses ad blockers. It bypasses privacy extensions. It bypasses the stuff your real users have installed. It gives you a best case scenario that doesn't reflect the real world. The actual users, they've got uBlock Origin. They've got Brave browser. They've got Safari with ITP, limiting cookies and storage. They've got Privacy Badger. They've got Reject All on your consent banner. Preview mode doesn't simulate any of that. So you test in a perfect environment, publish to a hostile environment, and wonder why your data disappeared. The fix is about testing like a real user, not like a developer. First, always validate using an incognito window without preview mode active. Just you, raw browser, real conditions. Second, open your browser's network tab and inspect requests to your custom domain. Are they going out? Are they returning 200 OK status codes? Or are they being blocked? Third, test with an ad blocker enabled. Install uBlock Origin, hit your site. Does your tracking still work? If not, you found a problem before your users did. The whole point of server-side is to improve data collection in this hostile environment. But if you only test in preview mode, you'll never know whether it's actually working until your data tells you it isn't. Now, if you found this helpful, hit subscribe. I'll keep making videos like this that actually help you fix stuff. So that's the list. 5 mistakes that wreck most DIY server-side setups. 1, missing the server container URL parameter. 2, tag sequencing failure, where your configuration tag fires too late and attribution breaks. 3, unpublished container, your server is running on empty. 4, the silent server killer. 5, the preview mode trap, testing in perfect conditions, deploying to hostile ones. None of these are complicated to fix once you know they exist. That is the whole point. Server-side tracking itself isn't hard. It's the information gap that is hard. Tutorials show you the happy path. They don't show you the walls. Now you know where the walls are. If you want to go deeper, we teach all this inside MeasureU. And if you want the pre-flight checklist I mentioned earlier, comment flight below. It's the checklist I wish I had the first time I did this. All right, go fix your server-side setup, and I'll see you in the next video.